Tell me, darling, could we run away? We could hide away by the cactus desert blue. I can see it just a mile away from this crowded place. I could lay there next to you.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Best Freaking Friends Forever. So again, thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and if you guys would subscribe below. Today we're going to talk about board games of our past. So we have Monopoly, we have Candyland, Chutes and Ladders, and Guess Who is what we're going to talk about today. But first, we're going to do our icebreaker, which is, what is our favorite Christmas song?
Yep, mine is Carol of the Bells. And we talked and said we actually kind of had two. I like Carol of the Bells. I think it's pretty. There's so many different versions of it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one, though. And I like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. My mom had a Santa that would sing that and dance. And she always had that. And the kids always play with it when they're there. But, yep, those are my two. Don't know why. They just are. But I like any Christmas music. I would have it in my radio all the time in my car, but Tony's like, no. And I'm like, why? I love Christmas music. And we have a radio station here, from the day after Thanksgiving up until Christmas, they play Christmas. Do they still do that?
I don't think they do. I think they used to, but I think I think they changed people, because I think it's 106.5. They used to do that, and it would be like you said, from the day after Thanksgiving until Christmas, Christmas music was playing, and that's all they played.
Yes.
Like, they didn't play any of these other songs. Like, it was all Christmas all day. I loved it. And then I would say it wasn't that long ago that they stopped that, though. It's only been within like the last 5-6 years even that they stopped.
I don't even know either, because I used to travel 30 minutes to work and back, so I would listen to it then. Mm-hmm. And now that I don't have to travel so much, I started childcare, and so didn't drive to work. My work was here, and then now when I do drive to work, it's only like 10 minutes down the road, if that. Mm-hmm. So I don't have enough time to listen to the radio anymore.
Yeah, that's true too.
I miss a lot. I feel like I miss a lot of news and stuff, because I relied on that 30-minute trip every morning, because I listened to a lot of news.
It does make a difference. I feel like everybody's like, oh, you have to travel 30 minutes. So it's like, I like it, though. It gives me time. Like, if I've had a rough morning or just a fast-paced morning, it just gives me time to breathe. And then on the way home, if I've had a rough day at work, it's just a nice I just turn on the music and I, just chill out for that drive. But, yeah.
So what are your favorite Christmas song?
I have two too. Do you hear what I hear? I don't know why. There's so many different versions of it, and like Carrie Underwood's, I really like hers, and the original, I like the original one, and then Little Drummer Boy. If you guys ever get a chance to watch Josh Groban's version of it or listen to it, oh my goodness, and for King and Country, that's a good version too. But yeah, I love those two. They're kind of out of the box, but I like them. I mean, those are my two favorites. I like those too. I find myself especially around this time, I find myself listening to them.
There's at school where I work, they have the teachers always make their boards in the hallways, and the pre-K class made a snowman, and it says, "Do you see what I see?" And the snowman's looking at a star, and I was like, "That's my favorite one."
Yep.
Yeah, so
just the messages in them. I mean, I love it. And Carrie Underwood has done one with her son, so that's kind of cool. He sings in it with her. Yeah.
And I got to sit down and do better about listening to this stuff.
Well, she did it this was she did a Christmas album this year, and I guess that was part of her. And she got him to sing with her, so that was pretty cool. And that'll be a memory for them. So yeah, but like I said, her version's really good, and of Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah. I just don't think there's a bad Christmas song out there.
No, there's really not. I mean, there's some that aren't as popular, but I think, like you said, they just bring out the good in everything. So,
yeah. And how many days are we away from Christmas? 3? As of today. This airing, not us in the past, but in the future, it'll be 3 days. Are you guys done? Are you guys shopping? Are you done shopping? Are you done wrapping? Are you still wrapping? as of 1 o'clock this morning, I finished majority of our wrapping, like 99% of our wrapping. So I think we're good.
It's a lot.
Yes, it is a lot. All right, so today we're gonna do board games from way back when.
It is way back when. Yep.
We'll do Glory Days again. All right, so first we're gonna do how they came out in order. That's how we're gonna do it. So the first one was Monopoly. It came out in 1935. I don't know. It was originally called the Landlord's Game.
Yes, because it was by Maggie McGee.
In 1903.
Yeah, she was trying to explain the tax theory of Henry George in that game.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And I thought it was really neat because, like, even card games, I think, are like this today, where her game, people would make their own boards. Or they would have one board and they would pass it around to each other to share and play. Which I know, like with my family, they do card games like that. We'll say, oh, we'll take this game and make it our own, and then maybe let the next person know. And we'll, make up our own rules as we go and that sort of thing, which is really cool. That I feel like that kind of goes on today where people, I don't know, at least for us it does. We do that. Yes, I saw she had died in 1948. She did not get credit for the game or anything like that. This, what was that? Oh, I didn't write. Oh, Charles Darrow.
Darrow. They bought Parker Brothers bought the copyrights from him, and then they learned, because I guess Darrow was like, there's another person that helped invent this. So they also bought her rights. They bought Lizzie's rights for $500 for her patent.
Yeah. Which back then was a chunk of money.
It was.
Yeah. But I'm sure Charles got way more. Also, a fun fact that I found was that it was used to smuggle maps and money to POWs in World War II.
Oh, okay. I don't think I saw that, because I looked up facts too. I didn't see that one.
I thought that was really neat.
I found, because I typed in like facts about Monopoly, and I found I forget how many there were. There were like 80 facts about Monopoly or something like that I looked at, and I found the most interesting ones. Like, one was the original game. So the original one was made from materials from Darrow's own home. So a piece of oilcloth covered the board, and the cards were all handwritten at that time, or in the first game. The original houses and hotels were made from wooden molding scrap. Let's see. It's published in 47 languages, and it's sold in 114 countries. The City of London was the first licensed Monopoly game. So, how they've started branching out and doing I don't know, I think they have Harry Potter and West Virginia games and licensed ones and things. So at first it was only sold for $2 when it was first. Yeah, it was only sold for $2. The current standard Monopoly game includes 8 tokens. So we know them as the battleship, the top hat, the Scotty dog, the race car, the thimble, the boat, the cat, and the wheelbar. Those are the original 8. Let's see. The total money in the standard Monopoly is $20,580. There's now more than 300 licensed versions of Monopoly now.
I'd say that number's small. I mean, they make...
Yeah.
Tony has a game from the county he grew up in. It's the that's the theme of it, is the county he was in. He won't open it. I'd like to see what the squares are and stuff, what they used.
Yeah. Well, the original game was from Atlantic City, New Jersey. That's what the original format of the game was. Streets from there. And then, on record, the longest game ever played lasted 70 straight days. I cannot imagine playing Monopoly for 70 straight
days. And they have championships for this game.
They do.
And then the one video I watched, there's a guy that's a champ, and he uses Monopoly to teach his students, which is really cool. And I remember in high school in accounting, we did not have money, the actual money. Our teacher, it was the end of the year. She was like, I have to do something with you. I can't just let you just do nothing. And so we would get the T-charts, and that's what we would use in accounting. we'd have to write like how much money we got when we passed go, and then like we'd have to do our expenses and that sort of thing, which was really neat. So I don't know. So yeah, it can be a teaching tool.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into that too when we get down through these others. But they say that, okay, so if you play by the rules, the paper that comes in the game, if you play by the rules, your game should not take any longer than an hour to an hour and a half. So I don't know what happened with that 70-hour game. What did you say, 70 hours?
70 days.
70 days. I don't know what happened there. But like this whole thing where people take forever to play a game, it should not be happening if you play. And one of the biggest rules that people do not follow is when you land on a property and you don't want it, that property goes up for auction. So other players have an option to buy. You probably did you know it? Did you know that was a
so they so if you and I were playing with Tony and I landed on something and I didn't want it, it would have to be auctioned off to you two? Like you two could have a chance to buy it on my turn?
Yes.
Oh, see, that's not how we have always played. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Monopoly. I think it's because it does take so long, and I hate spending money. Ask Tiffany, even fake money. Yeah. So I never want to buy anything, so I always lose because I never want to buy anything and put hotels and stuff like that on it. So I lose horribly at Monopoly.
I like Monopoly. I don't like playing with Tony. He is so, oh my gosh, there's like this whole other, I'm not joking. Listen, you need to come over one time. There's this whole other side of him that comes. I have played Uno with the man. We've played, what's the other one? Phase 10, Pandemic. We have a Pandemic game that we've had. People are like, oh, that came out this year. No. That game's been around forever. We have Pandemic. I've played Diablo with him. I've played all these games, but when we play Monopoly, there's like a whole other person that comes out. And I'm not exaggerating. We've played Monopoly with Bodhi. The three of us. We've played Life, we've played Monopoly, and it is different when we play Monopoly with Tony. I don't play with him. I refuse to play with him anymore because I'll play any other game, but for some reason he is a whole other person when it comes to Monopoly. Let me know. I want to know down in the comments, does that happen with your family? Is it just Monopoly like it is with Tony, or is it just everybody turns into something else? I like Monopoly though. I used to play it out of like growing up in my family. I was the one that liked playing board games, and I didn't have to win. I just liked playing. I just liked it. And so, and if somebody else won, then I was fine with that. I was, cool with that. And maybe like after this, we can maybe say what out of these four, which one was our favorite.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, like my favorite, that's probably what we should have done was our favorite childhood game. I don't even know. Chutes and Ladders. It came out in 1943, but they're dating it back to what'd they say, the 1800s?
Well, they said ancient India, 2nd century, because it came from India. It was called Moksha Patam, P-A-T-A-M. I probably butchered that, but yeah.
Okay.
And because it was more of a moral game, I think, because the Chutes and Ladders, it was first originally called Snakes and Ladders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a moral game, and it was like karma, basically. And there's no skill needed. You roll the dice and you go. There's no, have to figure out, like in Monopoly, where you have to spend this much and make this much and that sort of thing. But it's fate. You roll the dice, and what does your fate do? And yeah, it was supposed to be karma. It was actually vices and virtues.
Yeah, the ladders were the virtues, the snakes were the vices, and it was just lessons or your journey complicated by either the ladders or the snakes.
Yeah, and I found, and I didn't write them all down because there was a lot, but like each ladder has a name, and each snake had a name. So like, and I think like one of the snakes I think was envy. So and I forget what the vices were. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even write down like who finally got like the rights to it.
Well, Milton Bradley published it in 1943. I did find that. And the saying "back to square one" comes from this game.
Oh,
going back to square one, because I guess I haven't played it in so long that I don't remember the rules, but I guess you'd have to go back to square one if you hit in a certain place. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there might be like a longer one that's like you could be at the top, and if you get that one, it is going to bring you way back down. And I remember playing it very little. I don't even think I owned it as a kid. If I played it, it was probably with a friend at their house.
Well, I guess it can have 2 or more players, and then really ages 5 to 7 can play it, or it's, I guess, geared to them. Because it is so easy, like you said, there's really no skill needed.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean...
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it'd be good, for counting, probably, for sure.
Yeah.
That's about it. But I think I've seen variations of it where, like, different... I don't know, I feel like maybe I've seen a Paw Patrol one, or, you know what I mean? Like...
Mm-hmm. I think so, yeah.
I think I've seen kind of different variations of it.
Yep. Well, it came under different names, too, because it's been Chutes and Ladders, Snakes and Ladders, and then it's also at one point was called Bible Ups and Downs. So it was also called that at one time.
Yeah. So technically it is the oldest game out of the 4 we're doing, but like didn't come to the market until 1943.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was Snakes and Ladders instead of Chutes and Ladders. Yeah, that's about it for that one. Not anything special, I feel like, really. Yeah,
there wasn't too much information on that one.
Yeah. And then Candyland, which this one I found really interesting. I really liked the background of it. And it's kind of fitting for this year.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So it came out in 1948 with Eleanor Abbott. She was a retired teacher. And that was the height of polio.
Yeah, she made it while she herself was recovering from it.
Yeah. She had it, and she saw where kids were there and just kind of bored.
And they couldn't really move. So this was a game where you really didn't have to move a whole lot. You just had to move the pieces. So, right. I mean, that made it something for them to do and something easy that they could do to keep their mind occupied, I guess. It was bought by Milton Bradley in 1949 and published as school supplies. Because it does, like you said, it allows you to count. I mean, there's not a whole lot of skill other than that. It was involved in one of the first disputes over internet domain names in 1996. And Hasbro obtained an injunction against the use of it back and then. And then it was, I didn't see any of these other games inducted. I'm surprised. I'm sure Monopoly has been. But this game was inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame in 2005. Which I'm surprised that Monopoly, I'm sure it has too, but I didn't find anything on that. And the Toy Industry Association named Candyland as the most popular toy in the U.S. in the 1940s, which was kind of cool. Yeah,
I had this game, and I remember the board, and I always was like fascinated with it. The board is so pretty, and the characters and stuff. And I guess it didn't start. It slowly over time got the characters. I didn't
realize how many characters there were. There's a lot of characters because there's, I guess, the kids, Mr. Mint, Duke of Swirl, Grandma Nut, King Candy, Jolly, Plumpy, Mama Ginger Tree, Cupcake Commons like Princess Lolly, Queen Frosting, and I think Queen Frosting and not the Duke of Swirl. Yeah, but there was a lot of them. And I guess there was a mistake on the board I found back when it first came out. The 2 people that are holding the hands on the cover or whatever, they're holding left hands, which would make it very hard to skip on their journey through Candyland because they're both holding left hands. So you would think one would be a left, one would be a right, and then no. So they did change that.
Right. Well, and also one of the little boy at the beginning has braces on. Because polio is known to keep you from walking and...
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, so they said that was one of the first ones where the little boy had braces on, which I thought was interesting.
Well, this was... I mean, can you imagine... So it almost became a movie starring Adam Sandler, too. Can you imagine that? I'm just like, I don't know.
Didn't make it far. But I had opened a daycare in my basement a few years ago, and we had a Halloween party for the kids. And in my backyard, we made a Candyland board.
Ah.
Yeah, so spray painted the squares, and then they would just draw out of the bucket. They would draw a collar, and then they would get to go to the next collar that they saw. And I had it going like wrapped around. It was in my playground area. I had it wrapped around, and then I had it going up the ladder and down the slide. And then they would start from that and go around. Yeah. It was really cute. They had a really good, I don't know. And then my sister-in-law, she made like all the like different decorations and stuff along the way. But
That's
I thought that was, yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll never figure out how to make this crazy thing. It was a lot of spray paint in my yard.
Wow.
I sprayed all the squares. But yeah, it turned out really good. Yeah, I like Candyland. I didn't play it. I didn't play it much.
Played a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit. I didn't play it a whole lot as a kid. I probably should get that game. Like I said, I have a huge game board collection, board game collection, and all kinds of stuff. So that's probably one I should get. And Guess Who, which I didn't find a whole lot on it.
There wasn't a whole lot on it. I think a lot of people, yeah. There wasn't, I mean, it came out in 1979, which I think that's crazy that it's that old, but yeah. It was created by Aura and Theo Koster. They created the Aura design, I guess. So.
Yeah. And people use it as a teaching tool. Like they do, like history, like presidents and things like that, and use it, which I think is so cool. Like teachers should use that a lot if you're trying to learn about presidents and stuff. Put out little pictures of them and put them in the game. I owned this one as a kid too. I don't have it as an adult. Should get one.
I just remember my grandparents had it, and we'd play it at my grandparents' house all the time when we were kids. Like we played this one a lot too. And I mean, it only had 24 people to guess. And I guess people were upset with the original version because there wasn't diversity. So.
And if I remember, like mine that I had, there was very few women in it too, right? So like if you got lucky, if your opponent had a woman, you knocked out a bunch of people.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. And I don't know about the newer, if they've changed that really.
I think so. I think they have. I feel like I've seen a newer one. And
because I haven't, like I said, I haven't played it in so long, and I haven't looked for versions to buy or anything like that. But yeah, it lacked diversity, which upset a lot of people.
I don't blame them. You know, especially women. Yeah.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of people of color on it either, so you were pretty much guaranteed it was going to be a white person. I mean, let's be honest.
Yep.
With either red hair, blonde hair, or brown hair. I mean, there wasn't going to be, I think there was a couple people that had dark hair, like dark brown hair, like almost black.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I like that game. Like I said, I'm just a big board game person anyway. Just games in general, I like.
Well, it's a simple game. You're guessing. You're asking, okay, does your person have glasses? Does your person have a mustache? Those kind of questions to help you guess. So it's a guessing game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we didn't find much on it.
There really wasn't much to find.
Out of these four, which one did you like the best?
I just remember liking Candyland. Like I think I owned the Candyland at my house. Like I think I got it for Christmas one year, and I think I played that the most and liked that one the most. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that one too. Man, I don't know. I like Monopoly. I just remember playing it a lot. I played as a kid, as an adult, not with Tony. Bodie even likes Monopoly. He enjoys it. We bought him, there was a cheaters edition where you can cheat. Like the whole point is to cheat. Yeah. And he has that one. And it has a thing where it's a handcuff and and like if you get caught, you go to jail, and the handcuff is like attached to the board, which I thought was really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say Monopoly and then Candyland for sure. I just remember thinking the board was so pretty.
Yeah, I remember that too. Well, and even the characters, they were so colorful.
All right, guys. Well, board games. What was your favorite? Does your family fight when they play these games, especially Monopoly? But please like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. If you're missing our videos, turn that on so you don't miss another one. And we really appreciate you watching. We thank you for watching. And until next time, that's it in a nutshell.